It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
What's up, producers? How's it going? I'm glad to be back today with you. I am hoping that we can get back to it. I completely forgot that where I'm at in the U.S. was a holiday last week. So been a little busy and forgot that we had a holiday. So did a little family time, which was nice. But it's time to get back to work on this song. Today, the plan is to be just getting these vocals done. I'm going to show you guys basically how I go about doing vocals. The plan for today is just to get the lead vocal on this thing done. I've actually been playing a few live gigs lately and singing a good bit. I also wanted to say, if any of you guys or girls out there, if you play live music or you do live gigs, and you're watching this or you come back later and watch it, leave me a comment wherever you're watching from, because I'm thinking about doing a series also for the folks out there that actually play live music, kind of going through the details of how to get gigs, how to play gigs, how to get paid, all that stuff, because I still do that quite a bit myself as well. So anyway, we're going to get right into it. If you're just joining us, this is going to be part 8 of our Making a Song series. We have a song called All I Can Do Is Dance, and it is coming along nicely so far. We kind of went all the way from the beginning. I showed y'all how the idea kind of came about, how I went about writing this song for the lyrics, how I did the chords. I went through all of that step by step. So if you missed any of this stuff, you can go to the Facebook page or the YouTube page and you can watch all the way from the beginning how we went through this process. We've got Aya Khalid. Yeah, what's the deal with people like this? I guess this is on Twitch. Isn't that obnoxious when people comment on your stuff if you want to be famous? No, I don't want to be famous. I just want to make good music, Khaled. I think people like you deserve to burn. Anyway, we're going to get started. So as always, if you're just joining, I am going to be doing these lead vocals. So I always start off our new session by doing a file save live set as, or if you're in FL Studio or something like that, you can do a file save as, and then I'm going to go up one version. So today is version 8.1 because this is the 8th day that we are working on this song. And all I've done so far before I hopped on here was I went through and I actually froze all of these tracks so that hopefully I could save a little CPU because I'm going to be trying to record these vocals. Also, I'm going to show y'all, I went over this in one of the weeks that we covered mixing, but I'm going to start actually applying some of the stuff that I was showing y'all this week as we're doing this. So one of the first things I wanted to show you is, I had spoken about this before in the mixing week that we did. So what I like to do when I'm cutting vocals, and this is not just when I'm going to be the vocalist, but if you're in a studio situation or you're recording one of your friends or, you know, another artist, what I like to do before I start recording my vocals is I like to create a track. I call it a fresh audio track, and I'm just going to call it track. and I'm going to set it to no input, because what I'm going to do here is on all of these musical tracks, I'm going to actually, so for example, we don't need our demo vocal, but I'm going to bring it down here just as a reference. But everything else, and I could actually send that to the track as well. I'm going to send all these outputs to my track channel right here. And I usually like to do buses like that in red. So now my demo vocal is going out to track, which is this right here. And I'm going to set this to in. So my drums are all now going. I'm going to set to the track. And then all of these channels right here, I'm going to set all of these to go out to the track. And then my keys, I'm going to set to go out to the track. So what that should enable us to do is if I play any of these sections, I now have all of my instruments on this one fader right here. So what that does is when you're recording vocals with someone, you now have the ability to just on one fader lower or raise the music for them. And that's super key, because a lot of vocalists, they're very particular about how loud their vocal is, how loud their headphones are, and how loud the track is that they're singing against. Because what you got to realize is, especially if you have a vocalist and you have a vocal chain set up for them where they're maybe singing into a compressor, well, if their vocal is low in the headphones or the music is high, they're going to sing and push harder. And when you start really getting into the nitty gritty of producing, I've actually done this type of stuff on purpose, where if I know it's a super, like, it's a powerful chorus section and I want the singer to really push hard, I would actually sometimes, without them really knowing, I would either lower their volume of the vocal a little bit, or oftentimes I would push the music up a couple dB, so when that chorus hits, you don't want to blast anybody and make them go deaf. You don't want to hurt anybody's ears. But just giving it a little bump by like a dB or two when you come up to like a chorus type section, I've always found that makes the vocalist sing a little bit harder than they normally would, because they're trying to push to hear themselves. So just be aware of that, and you can use it to your advantage. Whereas if you don't route all of these instrumental tracks to one channel fader, you're going to be sitting there trying to go through all these different faders. You're going to lose your balances. That's the really key thing, is if you don't get everything to one fader for the track itself, you'll start manipulating, like, oh, let me just move the drums a little bit. Well, now the bass sounds too high. Now the keys are too low. And you start messing up all your balances. Just output all of your instruments onto one track. And then, like I said, now I have this fader here where I can just control everything from one fader. So that's nice, because again, a lot of people, what they wind up doing is the vocalist says, hey, I can't hear myself. And this is a super key tip here. When I first started off working in studios, the vocalist says, hey, I can't hear myself. Well, you push their fader up on the track and, hey, I still can't hear myself. What's better often to do is tell them, hey, I'm going to pull, because once you get the vocal kind of set with your preamp and your compression and your reverbs and all that stuff, once you get that set, you don't really want to mess with your gain, because that's going to affect how the compressor is hitting the vocal, and that's going to change it on a fundamental level. So what you want to do is make sure that you tell them, hey, I'm going to turn the music down and I'm going to leave you where you are. Turn your headphones up. That's a super key tip right there. I can't stress that enough. Most people don't think to do that. All right, so let's get into this vocal and let's start recording some stuff here. So I am going to set up a channel here. That's my demo vocal. So the idea for today is I'm going to set up, I want to get 3 good, decent vocals done today, is the plan anyway. So I want to get my vocal, take 1, and actually I'm going to call this lead vocal, take 1. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste take 2. paste, take 3, okay? So I've got my 3 vocal tracks here. This is where my vocals are going to end up. What's up, Manuel? Thanks for saying hello. We're doing some vocals today, my friend. So these are my 3 tracks that the vocal are going to end up on. And this is kind of a key thing here. I want y'all to pay attention to this if you're watching. A lot of people, what they'll do is they say, okay, I want to record vocals. I'm going to create a vocal track. I'm going to sing into the microphone and I'm going to record it to the track. However, again, what happens is you're going to put maybe, let's say, some effects on this vocal track, like maybe some reverb or some compression or whatever it may be. But then you want to do take 2. Well, people often, what they'll do is they'll just duplicate the first track that they made. But now you wind up duplicating all these effects, all the compression, all the EQ, all the reverb, all that stuff. And you start kind of taxing your computer a lot by doing that. The other thing it does is you have a tendency to manipulate stuff on a single track. What that means is if I set up vocal track 1 right here, and let's say I throw a compressor and an EQ on the track, as we start listening to it, and especially if you're working with an artist, you may start tweaking stuff like, oh, let me put a little more compression, let me boost the highs, whatever. Well, then when you go to track 2, a lot of that stuff is not necessarily going to stay the same because you're going to start tweaking it on that channel also. So you can't really listen objectively to what's going on because you're tweaking things differently on different channels. So this is what I recommend you do. These are going to be my 3 take channels. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another channel and I'm going to call this lead vocal bus. And this is going to be where I'm going to put all of my effects just on this channel right here. Okay? And I'm going to route all of these takes into the lead vocal bus. And I'm going to turn that on so it's listening for the input. So what that means is when I put a take here, when I put a take here, or I put a take here, they're all going to go out to this lead vocal bus, and I only have to worry about tweaking effects on this lead vocal bus. So if I want to start listening, say, to like the beginning of this take, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty good, but then I want to listen to this take, all I have to do is turn these channels on or off. I don't have to worry about my effects not matching up from channel to channel. So I wanted to kind of go over that today with y'all as far as how to set up doing vocals, because that's kind of a key part of my process here. So I'm going to shrink these a little bit so we get a little bit more room to maneuver. So already, like I said, the key thing here is more the setup for today, and then we'll try and take these vocals down really quickly. So I'm going to create one more track that I'm going to set to my input of my interface, which is channel 1. And I'm going to turn that on. And this is going to be, I'm just going to call this lead vocal. So that way when I record the track, it'll say lead vocal, and then each time it should increment the number. That's how Ableton works normally. So if I turn this on, let's make sure we're getting some input here. Check. All right, I've got some input. Let me mute. I'm muting the USB microphone that I normally use. And let me see. Gonna turn off delay compensation. And let me see what my buffer's set at. Let's try. Check. All right. I'm not sure with the Ecamm if I can. So this is my audio interface. There we go. Okay, so you're hearing me just out of my interface at the moment. and I'm going to be recording this into my UAD interface, and I'm going to show you guys how I have this set up. I basically have this Neve preamp that I use, and I'm actually recording this output signal. A lot of these softwares you can just monitor with the signal, but I'm actually going to be recording through it. And then I'm also going into this compressor here. Check, hey, 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 hey. So we have probably a little bit too much gain reduction going on here. Check, hey, 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 hey. Check, hey, hey, hey. So something in that neighborhood right there is what I want to get. So let me see if I can get the music going with you guys. I'm not sure how the sync is going to be on this, but we'll give it a whirl. Hey, 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 check, 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 check. All right, cool. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. I may be, because of the streaming software, coming out in my vocal on one side of your speakers, but that's all right. It's no big deal. We're gonna get this laid down, and I'm gonna do it quickly here. So the idea is we're gonna do just 3 quick lead vocal takes. Now another thing on this is I want to get a little bit of like a reverb or a delay kind of thing going here, just to give me a little bit of encouragement, let's say. Check. Hey. All right, we got that going. Let me get the delay times. Hey. Check, hey, hey, hey. Check. Hey. 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 All right, cool on that. And then let's do like a little bit of a reverb here. Check. Hey, hey. Check. Hey. Hey. Check. Hey. 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 All right, I think that'll work. Just a little something so it's not dry. And let's see what we got. What's up, LM Beat? Thanks for saying hello. So I prefer actually to stand when I'm singing for stuff like this, but I'm gonna try and keep in the frame here for you guys. So I'm just recording on this SM7B. Nothing super special here. So let's see what we got. We'll give it a whirl. One more day. Feel like you threw my heart away. One last chance. You let a good love slip through your hands. All right, that was a good little test there. Let's listen back and see what that sounds like. So again, I can just move this down here. Let's go ahead and put a little delay on our output channel here and a little reverb. This is just for monitoring, so I'm not really tripping on anything special on this. One more day. Feel like you threw my heart away. One last chance. Let a good love slip through your hands. All right, not bad, not great, but I'm gonna do a little adjustment here. Get a little bit less volume coming out of our compressor. Now, another thing I would recommend, and let me mute these effects before it drives me nuts for a second. So another thing I would recommend on this is, if you notice, we're starting right on the verse right here. What I would do is insert in Ableton, it's called insert silence. So I'm going to actually insert 8 bars here. And what that's going to allow me to do is I'm going to be able to copy these keys and strings here. So now I can get a little bit of a pre-roll, so I can, as a vocalist, I can hear the melody a little bit easier against the chords. So let's try and do this one all the way through now and see if we can make it through and get us a solid vocal take here. All right, here we go. One more day, feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance, you let a good love slip through your hands. All right, not bad. It looks like we maybe lost a little bit too much volume on our vocal. So let's bump this back up just a little bit. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I think I like that better. All right. So what I'm going to do is probably go up to just this first section, and then we'll kind of take it section by section. Again, I'm going to just show y'all how I normally do this. One more day, it feels like you threw my heart away. One last chance, you let a good love slip through your hands. All right, I could roll with that, I think. So I'm gonna mute these takes as we go, and then we're just going to pick it up from where we left off, because this vocal is going to overlap a little bit here. Let me actually keep that in there so we can hear what's going on. You let a good love slip through your hands. Ain't it sad when the tears start coming, falling down like rain? It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And all right, can roll with that. I think that's gonna overlap a little bit right there, but that's all right. Let's keep going. Brand new kind of pain, and all I can do is dance. Let's try that one more time. That's a tough falsetto there to get. Brand new kind of pain. And all I can do is dance. All I can do is dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so that's about the whole vocal right there. And what I'm going to do in the drop is actually we're going to kind of tweak this build vocal right here, which essentially is the hook. So we're probably just going to copy that over to drop A and drop B. So that's take number 1. Let's do take number 2 now. Hopefully it's a little better than that one. One more day, feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance, you let a good love slip through your hands. All right, that's the first part.
let a good love slip through your hands. Ain't it sad when the tears start coming, falling down like rain? It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And
all right, that was part 2. Try this falsetto again here.
broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And all I can do is dance. All I can do is dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, that was take number 2. Let's try take number 3. Maybe I'm getting warmed up here. Hey, really quickly, I wanted to point out how key that is where when I'm able to do these vocals, and oftentimes when you guys are cutting vocals, you're going to notice that the vocalist rarely will just go through the whole song. So I want you to notice again how key this is when you set up this lead vocal bus, when they're able to listen to that previous take, when they're going to punch in like how I'm doing, and the ability for them to hear all of these takes with all of the same effects on this lead vocal bus right here. I just can't I can't emphasize that enough, how important that is for a vocalist.
One more day, it feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance, you let a good love slip through your hands.
All right, not too bad. Let's catch it on the end here.
You let a good love slip through your hands. Ain't it sad when the tears start coming, falling down like rain? It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And
Not so sure about that one, but we'll roll with it. That's why we're doing multiple takes here. And also be careful when you're dragging down like I just did, where if the vocal shifts, you want to make sure you're keeping all your timing the same. All right, let's hit this last piece now.
it's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And all I can do is dance. All I can do is dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I feel like because I'm doing this without having really warmed up, I feel like it's getting a little bit better. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna set up one more take here. Put that out to my lead vocal bus, and let's try one more take, and I think that'll do for today.
One more day, it feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance, you let a good love slip through your hands.
All right, well, that was good, but like a bonehead, I set my input to the lead vocal bus, not my output. So there's a little dumb move for the day for you guys. All right, that was just a practice run, apparently. Let's try it one more time. What can I say? Nobody's perfect.
One more day. It feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance. You let a good love slip through your hands.
All right, we actually got that one. Now again, I set this one up. I'm recording on the actual channel here, which it doesn't make a big difference. But if you notice the way that all this stuff is being labeled, if I'm recording on lead vocal channel right here, all of my vocal takes are, you can see right here, voc 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're all in order. And I really am kind of OCD about that stuff. So again, I don't want to be recording on that channel. I want to record on my actual lead vocal channel. So hopefully we got our stuff under control here. Let's try it one more time. This is the one, I can feel it.
One more day. Feels like you threw my heart away. One more chance. You let a good love slip through your hands.
All right, we're going to drag down here and pick it up here.
You let a good love slip through your hands. And ain't it sad when the tears start coming, falling down like rain? It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain.
All right, yeah, this is definitely going to be the last take because I can hear my voice going already. So let's finish this one up.
It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And all I can do is dance. All I can do is dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, I think that'll work. Gonna pop that one down there, and I'm gonna cut my mic here off. All right, and I'm gonna pop back in here for you guys. Let's get out of this and out of this and back into Ableton we go. Okay, so that's basically the procedure that I use for cutting the vocal. And now what I wanted to point out is I've got my whole thing here. I can get rid of my vocal recording track here. I'm going to do a quick save just to be sure. Now again, I have my whole track on this one fader, and I have all of my vocals here on this one fader. So we have a very quick way to just kind of mix this stuff if we need to. So I'm gonna wrap it up here in just a second. I just wanted to cut the vocal today and show y'all how I go about that. But because of I believe because of the streaming software that I'm using to record this for you guys, the video feed, I'm using the audio driver to send it to this video feed for you guys. So what that was doing was it was actually causing my vocal to come in a little bit late, I believe. So what I'm going to do is take all of these vocals, and I want to be sure that I'm grabbing all of them, and I'm just going to scoot them back just a little bit. And that's also why I kept my reference vocal here, because it's nice to kind of keep in line with what was going on before. And I'm going to go through and retime all this stuff anyway, so I'm not really tripping on that. But I just wanted to make that clear if y'all were wondering if it was sounding like things were coming in a little late. It's just because of the way the streaming stuff works. So let's take a listen to some of our vocals here real quick.
One more day. Feels like you threw my heart away. One last chance. You let a good love slip through your
All right, cool. So what I want to do first is let's go up and see if we can clean these vocals a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I want to listen.
And ain't it sad, and ain't it sad when
So let's see if we can just get these right next to each other with that fade.
through your hand, and ain't it sad
So I want to get that S in there.
through your hand, ain't it sad when the
So something about like that.
through your hands, ain't it sad when the through your hands, ain't it sad when the through your hands, ain't it sad through your hands, and ain't it sad when
So this is an interesting case right here where I originally in the vocal I wanted to say through your hands, and ain't it sad when, and is not really necessary for this. And is just happened to be how I thought of it, but I'm realizing now looking at this crossfade, I don't really need and. So we're just going to pull it out with this fade. So like right here, I'm just going to pull it out. It's just going to go, your hands, ain't it sad? We don't need the extra word there.
through your hands, ain't it sad when the
Let's listen to that in context with the track now.
let a good love slip through your hands, ain't it sad when the tears start coming.
And for some reason, I'm not sure if this was just the Ableton funkiness thing or what, but this last vocal, it might have just been me, sounds like it was significantly behind here. So let's see now.
Let a good love slip through your hands, ain't it sad when the tears start coming, falling down like rain. It's like a sickness, you broke me with a quickness, a brand new kind of pain. And all I can do is, all I can do is, all I can do is dance.
Now, I definitely noticed because of this timing stuff that was going on that I had a little bit of a timing issue on these first all I can do is dance phrases. But that's okay. Like I said, we're going to go through it. I'm going to show y'all how I handle all of this stuff with the timing and everything. We're going to get it nice and tight every time. All right, cool. So I think I'm going to end it there for today, you guys. I just wanted to show y'all, we had covered this process in the mixing lesson that I did a few weeks back, where I was showing y'all how I like to route this stuff. Because again, the more manageable you can keep it as you're going, you're not going to get into this situation where at the end of the song and you've got just all these tracks everywhere, you're going to be like, oh crap, what do I do with all this stuff? So again, it may seem like it's a little bit more of a slower process the way I'm doing it at first, but once we get to the end of the song, this is going to be much more helpful as far as keeping everything organized. And I have a lot of cool little tricks and stuff that I want to show y'all that I'm going to do with these vocals, but we had to get the vocals down today anyway. So I wanted to just show y'all how I approach this stuff, how I set up my session. And again, this is super key stuff. I more so wanted to show y'all this for when you're working on your own stuff, or especially if you're working with another artist. I wanted to show y'all how to handle this routing so that way you keep your vocalist or your artist happy, because you always want to keep the session just moving as quickly as possible. And again, this routing stuff is super key to where you can just immediately, oh, track's too loud, boom, one fader. Oh, vocal too loud, boom, one fader. Oh, we want all the same effects to apply to, I mean, the way that I set up these vocal takes, we could literally do 100 takes of vocals. Every single one is going to feed into that same vocal bus channel down here with all the same effects. So I can start getting creative with effects down here, but I don't have to constantly do this. Oh, let me copy it to another vocal take. Let me copy it to another vocal take. And it took me a while to kind of come up with this method, but once I did, I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever, because now you can tweak your effects, but all of these different takes are going to apply. So when you go back with the artist, and that's what we're going to do next time, is I'm going to go through and show you how I comp the vocals, meaning how do I pick out the best pieces of each one. So that's what we're going to go and do next lesson on Thursday. As always, I appreciate you guys joining me. Be sure to join the Music Producer School community if you haven't done so already. Been listening to everybody's music over there the past few weeks, and it's been really fun and great to hear everybody else's stuff. So I've really enjoyed that. So make sure you join the Music Producer School community. The link is in the Facebook comments. And y'all have a great day, everybody. I'll see y'all again on Thursday. Peace out.